Welcome to LC Screen Talk. My name is Larry, and this is my review of Alien Covenant. So when it comes to the Alien franchise, we have a bit of a hit or miss type of situation. We have classics such as Alien and Aliens, and then we kind of just have the rest under the miss category. Although I think that's a little bit disingenuous, because I actually like Alien vs. Predator, and while I didn't love Prometheus, I definitely was not one of those who just hated it or thought it was the worst thing ever. I thought it was okay. But now, Ridley Scott is back in the driver's seat with the franchise he started, and he also has been a bit hit or miss over the last decade or so, but he is coming off of probably his best film in many years that also took place in space with The Martian. So with all of those variables, what do we end up with when it comes to Alien Covenant? Well, believe it or not, I think this is a pretty mixed bag. So let's go ahead and start talking about those positives first. Starting off with the cast, I think Michael Fassbender was really solid in both of the roles he played in this film. I have a problem with one of the characters themselves, but for his role, he made two very distinct characters. I think he made a couple of weird choices with how they moved and such, but overall, Fassbender, great as always. I also really enjoyed Katherine Waterston. I think she really did well as our lead character here. She brought up all the Scream Queen type of things we needed. She brought off the emotions we needed. She gave the kind of badassery we needed. So I really think she embodied the role really well. And the rest of the cast, I'm going to say, is fine. We'll get to them a little bit later when it comes to actual characters. But nobody was bad in this movie. I think all of the actors did a good job. So kudos to the whole cast. I think the acting was very strong. Another big department that I think really did their jobs well were the visual effects department, because I think the visuals were stunning in this film. Only maybe once or twice I looked at something and was like, whoa, okay. But most of the time, all of the aliens looked really cool and really realistic. All of the space sceneries looked really cool. There were a couple of really fantastic shots in space. So all of the visuals I would really give a thumbs up. And when this movie goes full on horror, I think it works really, really well. The first sequence in which we land on this planet was fantastic. It actually was my favorite sequence of the entire film. And if we had stayed on that path, I think this would have been a home run. Instead, we veer off that path, but all of the instances that are isolated and that feel like an authentic, actual horror movie were fantastic. They were wonderful. But the problem is, Ridley Scott was not content just staying as an alien horror film. And that point is actually going to just lead us right into the negatives of the film. Where this film really falls apart is that it tries to be so philosophical. It tries to really expand into this creation type ideology. And I know that it's building off of what Prometheus laid the groundwork for, and it's a direct sequel to Prometheus. So they reference back to that film, they show a little bit of the sequence from that one into this one. But this one just kind of takes it to a whole nother level, and a level that I think was unnecessary and really strange. And a lot of that has to do with the character of David, who was the shining highlight in Prometheus. So it was very strange that he actually was one of my least favorite characters in this film, and one that I just found to be kind of out of place, just very weird fitting into this film. And the entire plot line around David was just so weird, and it was overly complicated for no real reason. And then it gives us this backstory for the xenomorphs that nobody really asked for. And isn't really all that satisfying when we get it. So I didn't really like the way they took the xenomorphs. I didn't really like the way they took David. I didn't like the way they took this idea of creationism. All of it. They really tried to delve deep and instead just convoluted all of them. I also hated the opening to this film, which also happens to center around David. I thought it was oddly paced. And then we get all the way up through till they land on that planet. I still kind of was just like, I don't know, you're not really making me care about any of these characters, to be honest. You're making me dislike most of them. And speaking of those characters, none of them have any sort of development, and almost all of them are really stupid. And it starts off right from the get-go. As soon as they're taken out of their little pods, they start doing really stupid stuff. And it just kind of never stops. Just stupid upon stupid upon stupid. Every now and then, they'll come up with a smart idea, but just, you find yourself saying things like, oh, you didn't want to open that door before, but now you're totally cool opening it and heading on in, right? Or, why in the world would you trust all of this and then look inside of the, weird egg thing that you have discovered? So yeah, the characters just make really, really stupid choices that they never should have made. But in the end, we're not really supposed to care about these characters. Thus, the lack of character development, because they need people to kill in this type of movie. And the death scenes are gruesome, and they are pretty cool for the most part, so there's that. But I wish we had had more. I wish that these characters were somewhat developed. They were somewhat fleshed out. So overall, Alien Covenant provides a few thrills. It provides some sequences of real good, old school alien horror. But it's all muddled with this weird plot line, this over-complicated, kind of convoluted story that ultimately kind of drags down the fun of it all. And then we get to a predictable twist at the end. So my recommendation for Alien Covenant is going to be give this a rental. If you're super into the Alien franchise and like me, you've enjoyed some of the B-level Alien films, then maybe give this a matinee. But definitely, it doesn't need a full price ticket from you. So, that has been my review of Alien Covenant. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead, click like down below, and subscribe to the channel so you are always up to date on our latest videos. Also, join in on the discussion. Are you excited to see Alien Covenant? Have you seen it? If you have, what did you think? And what is your favorite film in the Alien franchise? Let me know either in the comment section down below, or you can hit me up on Twitter. I love you all so much for your support. Mwah. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!